Hi guys, this is Dr. Abidemi once again. Right now we're going to take a look at the basic economic problems and economic systems, or we're going to be asking some key economic questions. All right. So after this section, you will know the basic economic problems and you understand the types of economic systems that exist. All right. So let's dive straight into it. So what are some of the basic economic problems or key economic questions that different economies face? Number one is what do they need to produce, what they need to produce, what to produce. Number two is how to produce. Okay, what methods, what techniques? Is it labor intensive? Is it capital intensive? Number three, for whom to produce. For whom to produce. So I'm going to start with the first one, what to produce. But before I read what is here, so I discussed with my students that there are some factors that determines what a country produces. All right. So it could be the presence of natural resources. It could be location. It could be physical capital, human capital, financial capital. It could be so some basic advantages that they have. That sometimes determines what they do produce. It could be consumer demand, okay, in the domestic market or international market. So any of those factors can drive what a country produces. Okay, so remember what can drive it, what a country produces. I said it could be the presence of natural resources, it could be financial capital, it could be human capital, it could be uh, physical capital, it could be the consumer demand, both domestic and in the international market. All right. So the problem of what to produce occurs because of scarcity. All right. So we've already talked about scarcity, limited resources because of unlimited human want, and the inability to produce goods and services that will simultaneously satisfy people. Okay. Utility means satisfaction. For example, should a country spend its resources building more libraries, expanding the armed forces, or providing security? Should a country produce capital goods or consumer goods? What are capital goods? Capital goods are goods that are used in the production of other goods and services, or we say capital goods are goods that are used in the process of production, e.g., machinery, tools, buildings, equipment, and vehicles used in production. On the other hand, consumer goods are goods that are intended for final consumption by individuals, foods, clothing, shoes, electronics, cars, wristwatches. Okay, so what to produce is driven by uh, also how scarce the resources are. If the resources are readily available within a country, oh, then production could be much easier, right? But if they don't have the resources, maybe they need to import it to produce, all right? Now that can make a production to delay. Okay, so what to produce is driven by different factors that are mentioned. How to produce, so what method does a country want to use in the production of the goods and services? Do they want to be, do they want it to be labor driven? Do they want it to be capital driven? How? Do they want machines, AI robots to do the job, which are capital equipment? Okay, or do you want to build manufacturing plants and you have a lot of people working in those uh, manufacturing plants? That's labor intensive, or a combination of both labor and capital. So, how to produce is linked to the choice of techniques that will be used to produce goods and services. It also answers the question of how the factors of production will be organized, especially labor and capital. Should a country utilize a more labor intensive approach, a capital intensive approach, a combination of both? Should new technology be adopted to enhance productivity? Okay. So I also mentioned to my students that another thing that can determine what to produce, which is the first point, is population. Okay. If you have huge population like China, then that country could have a labor intensive approach and could also have a capital intensive approach, so that you guys can have the maximum, uh, uh, you can be able to produce more goods and services. For whom to produce? Whom are we producing for as a country? This question refers to the allocation of goods and services in an economy. This question is addressed through various economic systems, such as capitalist or capitalism, free market economy, socialist, command and plan, mixed economies. In a capitalist economy, goods and services are typically produced for those who can afford them. The vast majority of goods and services are provided by private businesses, all right? A capitalist is someone who has the right to own the factors of production, or who owns the factors of production. Okay? The vast majority of goods and services are provided by private businesses. Market forces, that is, demand and supply, determine the allocation of resources. In socialist economies, the goal is often to produce goods and services for the benefit of society rather than profit. Such an economy relies entirely on the public sector to choose, produce, and distribute goods. Most modern economies are mixed, incorporating elements of capitalism and socialism. That is, both the public sector and the private sector provides goods and services. Of course, we know the public sectors are the one who provides roads, uh, electricity, highways, or bridges, water, the security. Okay, so but uh, one of the advantages of capitalism is that it drives innovation. When you know that you have competition, you will want to sit up to produce, uh, should I use the word more goods, or to produce quality goods that can actually benefit the society. So one of the advantages of capitalism is that it drives innovation. It drives innovation. Okay, for those who are very innovative, of course, within the confines of the legal framework designed by that country. Okay, of course, it also had disadvantages in the sense that the income inequalities, it widens. Okay, the income inequality widens in a capitalist society. The rich, not just in the capitalist society, it's evident around the world. The rich will keep getting richer. There's nothing wrong about that if they are able to provide goods and services that people need. But the poor would also might not be able to earn so much to live. Okay, so but a combination of both, socialist policies to ensure that uh, the gap of inequality is closed, and also capitalism which drives innovation. All right, so that is the concept of the economic problems, that the basic economic problems that countries face: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. All right, so these are review questions. What are the fundamental economic problems that economists face, and what are the basic types of economic systems? Okay, so I'm going to see you in my next class. I know in my next class we're going to talk about um, one basic thing we'll also talk about is circular flow of income. All right, so I'll see you there. Uh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also if you have questions, you could put questions under the comment section. Okay, bye and God bless. Bye bye.